What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Friday. We have made it to the end of our LA trip. We have just gotten back from the Barstool Classic. It was beautiful. Monarch Beach is so lovely. And we really had a great time at the Classic. It was just fun to be there. It was our first time.
Yeah. I would really like to spend more time in this area. Like, just... I think I just need to like plan a vacation. Like, I don't want to come for work. Like, I want to come and like go on vacation in Laguna, like Newport. Like, it's so beautiful.
It is so beautiful here. It's, you know, we haven't spent
Malibu
much time.
Is nice too,
yeah,
but
Malibu is beautiful, but
yeah.
We haven't spent much time in Laguna, and it's relaxed and it's cool. And
yeah, very chill.
Obviously, the scene is awesome. So the Barstool Classic was so much fun.
Yeah.
You know, we've had quite the week. We've had
exhausted.
So
tired.
Fran, you know, we have a vlog coming out. Fran went on a whole rant about how much she hates LA. So that was fun this morning. That was also an early morning, and you could tell that you were just not in a mood.
Not
like a good
feeling
mood.
it. I was so tired. And I get mad at myself. Because I'm like, when we left for this trip, I'm like, okay, you know, the time difference, like, make sure that you know, eat, like, don't skip meals, like, you know, just like stay and out the window, eating at weird times, eating terribly, like going to bed after like just stuffing my face because we didn't eat. Like, it's just poorly timed things because you forget like there's stuff that we had to do East Coast time. And then we're scrambling because it's like, oh, wait, it's early. Oh, shit. No, it's not. It's late at home. So, like, we got to get this done. And then just guests in and out, which was so awesome and so fun. But, like, when you have them back to back, you're like, oh, shit, we didn't eat anything today.
Exactly. It was, I think, what did you say this morning? You said the way we've treated our bodies the last 3 days have been.
I said, I hate the
way we live.
I said, I hate the way we live this week.
Yeah, she said, I've hated the way we live this week, which, listen. All in all, beautiful time, so much fun, so many cool experiences that at the end of the night, for me, it was like, wow, that's what we did today.
No, we had a great time.
Like, you look back and you're like, this is super cool. We get to do all of this. So much fun. But hectic,
I just wish, we had like a bowl of cereal in the morning. That's all.
Right. We didn't think that through. That was our bad. Well, that's our fault, though. Yeah. We could have went to the grocery store,
exactly.
picked up
That's
some
what
cereal,
I'm saying.
picked up some bagels, like whatever. We didn't do
that's
any of
what
that.
I said to you in the car. Like, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just like, I'm mad at myself because I'm like, we should have done this.
Exactly. And, you know, we had Taco Bell late night one night.
Yeah, it's just gross.
Yeah. We had to recap the trip, though, nothing crazy. We might, nothing crazy, but we might have a crazy night tonight. We might have a story for on Monday. But so far, everything was super cool. Obviously, we did the stuff for MTV, and Siesta Key in the Hills was on, it's going to be a great season. Like, I'm so excited for both
episodes.
Shows.
Look great.
And Siesta Key is just like, give us the drama.
Yeah.
Kelsey and Juliet, we all know what we want on there. Yeah. And obviously, we had Brandon and Brody come, and LA people don't know time.
Look, we said it in basically every single interview we did. Like, when you listen to all the interviews, you're gonna be like, aha, Rhea and Fran, they're asking all the same stuff. But like, it's like our perception is just so different. Like, we're floored by the way people act out here sometimes.
Absolutely floored.
And we, you guys know, we talked about it. Oh, we're going on Instagram Live. We're doing this. It's a set time, literally live. Has to happen at a time, and just tracking down Brody Jenner is harder than it seems.
Yeah, it is harder than it seems. But thankfully, we got it done. Shout out to Josie.
Got to Nobu Malibu, too.
Shout out to Josie.
No one took our photo,
Canseco,
but that's okay.
who, nobody took our picture. But Josie, who's fucking awesome, and she came on the podcast, and she's amazing. I love her so much. She took us to Nobu, which was a blessing, and it lives up to the hype.
Yeah.
Like, it's not overrated whatsoever. The food's delicious. The drinks are good. The view's amazing. Like, Nobu Malibu is it.
Yeah.
Like, the way that people talk about that place, it lives up to the hype.
It's like, the plan was like, okay, everyone meet at the restaurant, and then we'll go back to the house and do the live. And it was like, when you're 45 minutes late to the restaurant, then that kind of fucks up.
yeah.
But it all worked out in the end. We had a great time. That food is so good.
So good. Mouth-watering.
Cool view.
Yeah, it's great view.
Didn't see Courtney and Travis, but that's okay. They literally had dinner across the street from us on Tuesday night.
Yeah,
they were in Malibu at a different restaurant across the street.
From where we were.
From where we had dinner.
Yes.
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
We missed the spotting.
Yep.
But that's okay. We had a little shindig at our Airbnb one night.
We met some of Noah's
and
friends.
and Noah had 6 friends come over. Noah had a whopping 6 friends come over, and I'm glad we got to meet
6
them.
friends. That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
I ran it by you because
No,
of
of course. I said absolutely.
I was expecting you to say no. So,
Fran
No,
gave
I-
the quickest yes I've ever seen
Fast
her give.
yes.
but then
Yeah.
we smoked
She
Seth
said-
Rogen's weed, and I feel like at that point I was like immediately like I can't entertain anyone. Like I'm like
Yeah, I kind
I'm-
of felt bad too because I was just like, I don't feel like talking to people I don't know.
I know, because we had some Barstool people there, and so obviously when we smoke Seth Rogen's weed, we're high as shit from Seth Rogen's weed, which was awesome, by the way.
Great.
And shout out to Seth Rogen because he followed me on Twitter, and it
Yeah.
made my whole week.
Seth, we love your work.
Sebby, I love your work. Come talk Siesta Key because we know you love it. But the weed was great, but we were with some Barstool people were there, Marty, and then some people who work on like the business side of things and, you know, producing and whatnot. But we obviously, you know, we know them, so we're talking to them, and Noah's talking to his friends, and it's like a high school
It was
party where it's
weird.
very divided.
It was divided, and like I started talking to Barstool people, and then I looked over, and I'm like, oh shit, like.
But your friends weren't even talking to each other at one point.
I think that, I don't know.
No, I'm
I feel like at one point they were like, all right, we gotta leave. Like, yeah, they were like,
I went to bed while everyone was.
Well, because
no, it was good. I know what you did. Like,
Well, I went to Taco Bell with Marty and them, and Fran was like, I'm going to go into bed and you're going to get me Taco Bell.
Yeah.
She was like, I can't
Yeah.
sit out here.
no, I get that, and it was good because
Well, I
it's
felt
like
bad because
then-
I was like, I didn't want to like. I was like, I'm gonna give Noah some time with his friends.
Well, that was good
And,
because like you left.
Yeah.
I had like some time like to catch up, and then that was like easy for them to leave without having to have like a weird.
Yeah.
A weird
For
goodbye.
sure.
You know
Yeah.
what
I think we
did
actually
that-
handled it pretty seamlessly.
Yeah, I think
I'm
it
not
was
gonna lie.
seamless.
Yeah.
Marty and them gave me so much shit when we got in the car to go to Taco Bell, because when I was getting up, did you guys hear me offer, hey, does anybody want Taco Bell, to like all your friends?
I heard you
did
say it
not
to
hear-
me, and I said,
did
no,
not
I don't
hear
want
that.
them.
I turned, I was like, anybody want Taco Bell? And nobody answered me. But we got in the car, and Marty was like, what the fuck is wrong with you offering everybody Taco Bell? You think we were going to go around taking everybody's orders? I was like, no, we'll get like a 40 pack of tacos. I thought, I don't know. I was
Yeah.
just being nice. But nobody answered. So that's okay.
Buddha Ben was there.
Oh, Buddha Ben. I love when Buddha Ben makes an appearance.
The vlog will be good. The vlog will be good.
The vlog's good stuff. It's funny. And yeah, it's been a week. We're exhausted. We are absolutely exhausted.
Yeah.
Our body has not recovered, but we're going to a nice dinner tonight. So we got to put some pep in our step. Our last
Yep.
night in LA. And that's that, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back to being your New York gals soon enough, because we need that.
I'm not built for this.
We're not built for this.
I'm
We are
not built for this life.
No.
No.
No shot. No shot.
It's funny because, you know, everybody always like asks us like, oh, you guys are meant, like, you guys need to be in LA. Like, this is where you're supposed to be.
There
I'm
were
like,
so many people
nope.
that are telling me that. They're like, yeah, they got to be out here. I'm like,
They're like, yeah,
I'm
it's
like, I think they
these
don't
girls-
want to be out
like,
here.
don't you guys want to be in LA? Like, everything's in LA. I'm like,
Nope.
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 Nope. I'm good with my like 2 times a year out here, and that's, you know.
Yeah, because when you're here for the 2 times a year, you get a little taste.
Yeah.
You hang out with the people. You make plans because you're here.
Although I do wish we spent more time, because there are
I was gonna
more
say, there's
people
an
out here
argument
that I would really love to see that
that,
I
like,
never actually see.
I feel like you still haven't adjusted, so it's like maybe you don't actually get to experience like.
Yeah, we're only here.
Like if you were here a month,
right?
and you actually got to like
Right.
get used to it.
Yeah.
I absolutely. I want, like, if we really like came out here with, we were like, oh, we're gonna stay for 3 weeks, 100%. And then to 3 weeks, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to leave. I feel like, because it's just we do
Right
not
now,
give.
you're just like running on fumes.
Yeah, we don't give ourselves enough time, and we pack in so much in like 3 days, and there's no like chill time. It's like we have all this shit to do, and then we just get on a plane and go home.
Yeah, that's what it is. I feel like if there was some extra time spent, we like really like settled in, it would be awesome. Of course, you know, it's a great place, beautiful, but we are in our hearts New York people. Yeah, for sure.
Can I just say something? I just thought of this.
Of
But,
course.
Sure.
I just want to apologize to some guy who I did like he asked for a picture with you guys, and I just thought of this. But like I was talking to him earlier, and then when he asked you guys, I was just like in a bad mood, like trying to get to the car and go record and set
I
everything up.
know. I whispered to, after you said
was
it, I
like,
whispered to Rhea and was like, "What is up Noah's ass right now?"
Yeah. I just thought of that. I felt bad because I did talk to that guy for like
He
good
was
amount of
very
time
nice, and he
earlier.
was taking a picture for his wife. And
No. He wasn't taking a
different
picture.
guy?
It was a different guy. It was
Oh,
where you were
at the
leaving.
end. Oh, right, you're right.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
was
Oh,
like,
when Noah goes,
oh,
sure.
yes.
I don't
he
know
was
if I
like,
said it
he was,
that bad.
No,
but
you
no,
did.
you
I was
like
like,
actually kind of did.
Yeah.
But because it was loud, he was like, "Oh no, could you do it?" And you went, "Sure."
Yeah, you were so sassy.
yeah.
I looked
But-
at Rhea and was like, "Whoa."
Noah's getting antsy, and I
I'm like,
understand why.
yeah, I'm getting to like the end of the trip. You just,
It's
Well,
the
and
end of
also,
the trip,
you know,
and he's got to
we gotta
record this. He's got to edit
and
it.
he wants to have
yeah, I do
some
want
fun
to
on
go
the
out,
last
so
night.
I just want to get everything done.
Yeah, fair enough. I understand. So let's get into it. Let's get into the topics for today's show. We got Ellen DeGeneres. The show is coming to an end in 2022. See ya, Ellen. Bye, Ellen. Bye, bitch. Oh, that was rude. Whatever. John Mulaney and Olivia Munn are sparking rumors, and also a lot of shit going on with John Mulaney. So
Yeah.
we'll cover that. And Chrissy Teigen in some hot water after Courtney Stodden released DMs that Chrissy Teigen had sent to Courtney.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Fucked up.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Really not good. And we have an amazing interview with Erin and Sara Foster, who are
Amazing.
awesome. They're delightful.
I was obsessed with
love
them before, and I'm even more obsessed with them now. Like I've just always, like I buy their clothes. Like I wore their jeans for the interview. I have the favorite daughter jeans, and I was just like, I'm obsessed with everything that they do. And they were like in the house with us and wanted to talk to us for so long. And it was amazing.
It was awesome. I love them so much. And so the interview was really great.
Yeah,
It was not an
they're so
interview. It was a
cool.
conversation. We really
Yeah.
just talked to them for like an hour. It
There were
wasn't really
times
an
when they were
interview.
talking when I kind of like zoned out because I was like, damn, they're so cool.
Yeah. You're like watching them. You're like, it's them
It's
in,
just like,
in
yeah,
the
I was
flesh.
like, wow, they're just like saying really cool things.
Yeah.
I really like them.
Yeah, they're awesome. So let's get into it. Starting off with Ellen. You guys know on this podcast, we love Figs. We've been talking about Figs for a long time now. Figs hooks our healthcare workers up with the most comfortable scrubs that you can find. My sister, she works as a surgical tech. Her whole office, they use Figs and they rave about it. She said it's so comfortable. And when she found out that we were talking about Figs on the show a while back, she was so excited because she genuinely loves Figs. People love Figs. They're not boxy. They're not itchy. They don't, it's not like your normal scrubs that you're going to find that are, I don't want to say they're cheap, but they may feel that way. They don't feel great like Figs does. Not Doug's. Oh my God. Where's my brain at? Figs are obviously ridiculously soft. Like I said, my sister has raved about them, and every set is made with technical comfort to blend design, comfort, and performance. Figs makes modern scrubs with a focus on design and fashion. You guys know this. Figs' proprietary Phionics fabric is ridiculously soft with 4-way stretched, moisture-wicking, anti-wrinkle, and Silvadur antimicrobial technology that inhibits odor-producing microbes and increases durability. So you know Figs is giving you the bang for the buck. They're giving you the best of the best. 10 pockets for all the things that you need. Pens, stethoscopes, whatever you need. Figs has you covered with all the pockets in the world. So right now, if you are one of those awesome humans who's a healthcare worker or you know somebody that is and you want to treat them, get them Figs. Figs will give you 15% off with code CHICKS15 at checkout. So go to wearfigs.com. That's WEARFIGS.com and enter our code CHICKS15 at checkout and get ready to love your scrubs. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not a sad day. The Ellen show is coming to an end.
Yeah.
I feel like we can just fucking go in on Ellen now.
No, but it's just
over.
It's just nice because there was no bounce back. Or you know what? We thought that
There was a minor one.
we thought when everything went down with her over the summer, it was going to be the end. And then it was like, is it really going to be the end? So many celebrities love her and she has the show and the show does so well. Like, is it really going to affect it? It did. It did. The ratings have not been good. Kelly Clarkson's the new Ellen
Queen.
face.
Yeah.
And by the way, Kelly Clarkson's show is great. I do enjoy watching Kelly Clarkson's show, and I used to watch Ellen's show, not necessarily like sit down and watch the whole episode, but I would watch on her YouTube, like the clips from the show, which I have not done in a long time. And now I find myself doing that with Kelly Clarkson. And so this announcement was made. The statement that we're getting is that doing the show is just no longer challenging for her.
Did you watch her interview about it? like about ending it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, she's playing the victim.
Look, it's how else did you think she was gonna go out? Like, I feel like she's salty that this is all happening and salty that it's ending.
I think, you know what? You've had a great run. Ellen did have an awesome run.
Yeah.
So why not end
She
now?
treated people like shit along the way, but
She did treat people like shit along the way. We acknowledge that.
Yep.
Fucked up. But she had a great run
Right.
on her show.
there's really
And-
nothing wrong with the show. Like, if I was her, I'd be like, show's over. I got a shit ton of money.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm trying to imply
What's
here
the
is that
saying?
there's
you
no
either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah.
Can I talk?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Both of you. I'm like trying to tell my thoughts about Ellen. I just feel like at this point she can retire. She has money. The show had a great run. People will look back on the Ellen show being a great show at the time. People will also look back and be like, Ellen was an asshole. But there's no redemption for Ellen. She's already done it all. She's already done the show. She had great success. There's no reason for her to try to remake all of that because the magic, I don't think, is going to come back. I don't think it's going to be what it once was. And why not just wrap it up with a shitty tied bow? Because, you know, it's not wrapping it up so cleanly, but...
The show wasn't even that great in the last couple of years anyway.
No, but I mean, prior to that, it was like, if you get on the Ellen show,
No, of
it's
course.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's still some amazing moments that you think back and remember of like kids that were
Apparently.
on Ellen. But yeah, and fucking Sophia Grace.
Sophia Grace.
Sophia Grace. Why did I say
Sophia
Sophia
Grace.
Rose?
That-
Sophia Grace.
She was iconic.
Yeah, she's like 18 now.
I can't even...
Yeah, it's atrocious.
Process
I
that.
don't like. I think she's like 17 or 18 years old.
It was Sophia Grace and Rosie.
and Rosie. That's why I said Rose.
Yeah. Sophia Grace and Rosie, they were adorable. Big Ellen moments. What was it? The pizza guy? The little kid with the pizza?
Yeah,
That was
and
another
I
thing.
did always really enjoy when she did the hidden ear
Oh,
stuff.
remember when Harry Styles
Dennis
said that?
Quaid.
That was a funny one.
Yeah.
Dennis Quaid had some of the best ones. Yeah, Sophia Grace is so old. Look at her.
Yeah, she's really grown up. We're like going back and doing Ellen's greatest hits. Meanwhile, like we've also trashed Ellen completely. She's not a great person, so people say. And that's definitely why the show's coming to an end. But you know,
For
Justin
sure.
Bieber
She is 18.
jumping out and surprising people. That was always fun.
It's just time. Regardless of the shit that came out, like it's just time. The torch needs to be passed. Like there's going to be a new talk show host that all the celebrities love.
Kelly
Kelly
Clarkson.
Clarkson, probably.
She's already done it. John Mayer on Peacock.
Yeah, that too.
John Mayer is the new Ellen, but as soon as John Mayer becomes the new Ellen, people will talk about all the things he did when he was younger and how shitty he was when he was younger.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely. But
But I feel like because he's so open about it now,
yeah, and he
it
talks
makes it
about
better.
being an asshole.
Right.
People were outraged. I saw some like people online outraged about him getting a talk show.
Well, yeah, people still
yeah,
hold
there's
those
gonna
things
be-
to John.
Look, if Rhea and I were given a talk show tomorrow, there would be massive outrage.
Major outrage.
And we're not bad people.
we're pretty clean. We're
But like they're just because of,
Barstool.
yeah, just because of like where we work and what people think about it, like there'd be backlash. Of course.
it is what it is. There's going to be backlash about everything.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's going to be, for John Mayer, absolutely. For Ellen, too, it's just the problems were when she's a grown ass adult.
And no, it's also that she put on the nice person act.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
she was the nice guy.
Hypocrite.
Like she was a huge hypocrite. Like, oh my God, I'm so nice. I'm giving people all these things.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, I'm a huge asshole. Whereas
Kinda
John,
like David Dobrik.
yeah, I guess so. Whereas John, he was bad, but acknowledges that he was bad,
Right.
and talks about how he has made a difference in his life
Right.
since,
Right.
And is
And
like,
he
open
seems
about that.
like he's made adjustments. I
Right.
don't know if Ellen will has
No,
changed the way she lives
Ellen
her life.
is probably going to be even more of an asshole now.
Yeah, that's
Ellen's
probably
going to
true.
be a huge dick. Her show got canceled because she's a dick. She's going to
Yeah.
be an even bigger dick now.
You're probably right.
Because she's also probably going to get even fatter paychecks just to
Absolutely. I agree with you. Yeah.
huge dick Ellen.
Yep.
So a lot of news has come out about John Mulaney in the past week or a few weeks. You know, he went to rehab, he left rehab, he's doing some shows now, he got a divorce, and now apparently there's rumors of him and Olivia Munn.
This is all happening very quickly. It's been all week. He's been back doing shows in New York, which you can read about if you haven't, if you weren't at the show, which a majority of the world was not. But it seemed like he's super open, super vulnerable, talking about rehab, talking about this split and kind of where he is in his life now. And it kind of seems like he maybe not necessarily blindsided his wife, but she is like heartbroken. Like her public statement was like, I'm heartbroken over this. And I had said on the group chat that maybe this was like there's something that he needed to do to grow, figure out who he is, life after rehab and staying clean and all of those things, and like just trying to really focus on himself, and wasn't able to put in the work into the marriage that needed it. Like he couldn't give his wife what was necessary. And that's how I was like, oh, he's probably going to be single. He's working on himself. Apparently not. Seems like he is moving fast and furious with Olivia Munn. There's reports that like friends are worried because this is like all happening very fast. Olivia Munn has her tweets going viral from like the end of 2020 when I think John Mulaney said that he was going to be entering a rehab facility, and she tweeted sending so much love and support to John Mulaney. You got this, heart emoji, lightning bolt emoji. So everybody's like retweeting that again now, but timeline's interesting.
It is interesting. It seems like maybe they had some sort of flirtation going on before he had ended things with his wife. I think it was also crazy to find out that he was the one who ended things with his wife, not the opposite way, because you hear somebody goes to rehab, they have issues they're dealing with. You would think, oh, okay, maybe the other person ended it. No, it was him. He ended it. So she's got to be heartbroken, because now he has stayed out of headlines, right, for a while now. He's been in rehab. You haven't heard anything about him. Now he is trending on Twitter every day, or day after day there's a new headline about him. That's got to be tough. That's got to be tough for her.
And tough for him. Like this doesn't really feel like this is what should be happening for him post rehab right away. Just like right away being totally in the tabloids and everyone speculating about his relationship, and now being in a totally new relationship allegedly, and Olivia Munn, like it's not like a regular person, it's another superstar. So it all seems like it's happening very quickly, and can't imagine this wouldn't be stressful. I think I saw that he wanted to file for divorce like 3 months ago or something. So maybe he's been checked out for a while, and enough time has passed for him in his mind to now be pursuing Olivia Munn, or Olivia Munn pursuing him, whatever happened. They from the outside, like if this was just any other, like if this was like 2 years ago, I'd be like, oh, that's John Mulaney and Olivia Munn. That's a lovely combo.
Two people I would never put together.
No, would not put them together. But I wouldn't have put Olivia Munn and Aaron Rodgers together either.
True.
So like, I think this is kind of her vibe. And this is, like now it's just like, is this the smartest move for Olivia Munn? I don't know. I'm not even like that well versed in John Mulaney. I haven't really watched many of his things. He is very, very funny.
That's what I would guess that.
Yeah.
People,
it is his profession.
It is his profession. People
he
love
does
him.
do it for a living.
People are obsessed with him.
But yeah,
like Kelly
his stand-up's is really, really good.
Obsessed with John Mulaney.
One of his last Netflix specials was really, really funny.
John Mulaney, hot in the streets right now. I should watch.
Big time. Certainly. He also had a whole nother Netflix special that people loved with the kids. Yeah, that my friends love that too. John Mulaney also.
Oh, actually, I did see.
All my
that
Georgetown
one.
friends love it too because he went to Georgetown.
Kelly made me watch that.
That's a bad decision by Kelly. She should have shown you like a stand-up routine
first.
Yeah. I like his stand up better
Yeah,
than that.
I actually tried to watch that and I didn't really like it.
I didn't really love it either, but I had a bunch of my friends that loved it.
I wasn't blown away. That's why I never watched his.
His stand up is way better.
Yeah, I probably
way better.
Listen, I'm gonna dabble now.
Yeah. Credit Karma has always been there to help you make better financial decisions. Now they want to help even more. They just started a Credit Karma money spend account so you can be rewarded for good money habits. What exactly is this? I will tell you. The Credit Karma Money is a brand new checking account where you can win cash reimbursements for making purchases. When you use your Credit Karma Money debit card, you can win daily instant Karma purchase reimbursements on items up to $5,000. Just pay with your debit card, and if you win, you'll be notified on the spot and your instant Karma cash will be added back to your spend account. Credit Karma Money has already given away over $3 million in instant Karma to over 50,000 Credit Karma members and counting. Open your FDIC insured spend account for free. There's no minimum balance requirements, no overdraft fees, and free withdrawals from a network of over 50,000 ATMs. Credit Karma Money progress starts here. Right now, visit creditkarma.com/winmoney to open your free account and start winning instant karma. Go to creditkarma.com/winmoney to sign up for free and start winning instant karma. One more time, that's creditkarma.com/winmoney. Instant Karma is sponsored by Credit Karma. No purchase necessary. Exclusions and terms apply. See rules. Banking services provided by MVB Bank Incorporated, member FDIC. Maximum balance and transfer limits apply. Bad week for Chrissy Teigen. Bad week. So Chrissy Teigen, she's getting blown up right now. Courtney Stodden did an interview with the Daily Beast where she talked about how, years ago when Courtney was 16, that Chrissy would basically like bully her online really, really badly. And if you don't know who Courtney Stodden is, because I feel like some people might not, they were married to Doug Hutchinson. And this happened in 2011. And Courtney at the time was 16. So it got national attention, 16-year-old marrying 51-year-old. He had major creepy vibes. And
obviously he's marrying a 16-year-old.
Right. And Courtney was very va-va-voom, platinum blonde hair, the whole thing. And they have been pretty open with how that now Courtney looking back is like, that was fucked up. I was fucked. Like, how did people let this happen? This whole thing, and how traumatizing it was. So Courtney does this interview with the Daily Beast and talks about Chrissy Teigen sending these tweets, things like go sleep forever or take a dirt nap. Like, you're really like vile things, basically telling her to die. Mm-hmm. And also like privately messaging her, like telling her to kill herself. Really, really, really terrible. And Chrissy Teigen put out a statement on Twitter where she said, not a lot of people are lucky enough to be held accountable for all their past bullshit in front of the entire world. I'm mortified and sad at who I used to be. I was an insecure, attention-seeking troll. I am ashamed and completely embarrassed at my behavior, but that I have tried to connect with Courtney privately, but since I publicly fueled all this, I want to also publicly apologize. I'm so sorry, Courtney. I hope you can heal now knowing how deeply sorry I am. And I am so sorry I let you guys down. I will forever work on being better than I was 10 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago. So, I don't know. Courtney said that Chrissy still has her blocked or something, that there wasn't, this private interaction hasn't happened, but that she like hopes the apology is sincere.
Super fucked up.
Yeah.
That makes me question so many things about Chrissy Teigen. So many things, because
there's something wrong with
there is something
DM strangers
wrong.
To kill yourself. I really like,
right.
Yeah,
there is something wrong with you. Well, like you just said, if you are going out of your way to tell somebody to kill themselves, what the fuck is wrong with you? what normal everyday person DM somebody that you don't like to kill themselves? If you don't like somebody, don't fucking talk to them. Don't acknowledge them. You don't know Courtney. So why go out of your way to tell that person, I can't wait till you don't wake up. I hope you sleep forever. I want you to kill yourself. For what reason? What was the gain from that on Chrissy's part? And obviously Chrissy said, oh, I was a, insecure troll. Just gross. Really just gross in general. And obviously, it was a really long time ago, and I think that there are certain things that happened a really long time ago that with some people you can look at and be like, okay, that was a really long time ago. They could have changed as a person. Totally, I get it. People change. I'm sure Chrissy Teigen has changed as a person. But something that extreme makes me think there's something fucking off, Like if you're going out of your way to DM somebody to kill themselves, there's something off there. It's just not right. You don't do that to people. It's not human. Like who does that? Who gets that worked up over somebody that you don't know, or in general to tell them to kill themselves?
I think because we've been on the other side of this also, it's I
get DMs every day telling me to kill myself.
That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy.
We have a view on this that is like, it's just so incredibly fucked up because the people that do this who don't know how it affects the other side. Like they think they're just throwing this at a fucking dartboard and it's like bouncing off the board, like they don't know that those words, like they're just like, I'm just fucking around, like whatever. And it's like just not the case. And I would hope that Chrissy sees that now, because her sending this, at 25 and not having really as much fame at that age that she does now, where she is at the point where I'm sure she has also received messages like this, and she's been very outspoken about the hate that she gets and the crazy shit people say and the crazy threatening shit people say about her and her family and her children. So I would hope that she can look back and be like, holy fuck, I can't believe I was the one who was on the other side of that, when I know how terrible that feels.
Right. You must feel like a piece of shit in that situation.
Yeah.
Because you've cried on Twitter and Instagram about what people have said to you. And then somebody
You're the one on the other side?
Somebody pops up and says, hey, you said this to me, actually.
Yeah.
That's super fucked up. And now listen, say Chrissy made some tweets about Courtney saying she didn't like her or she didn't like what was going on. That's a whole different story. You're going out of your way to tell somebody that you basically want them dead. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it's very, very upsetting. And Courtney has been pretty open with how, like I said, traumatizing that time in their life was, because I remember like when they were on the cover of every magazine, every tabloid, that story was massive. And it was cool to be like, ew, Courtney, she's so gross. What is she doing? 16. Like, what does Courtney want the money? What's the deal here? And everyone, it was like trendy to make jokes about them. I'm sure the talk shows, it was like that's what went down. It was like, how do we laugh at this relationship and make fun of them? And which was mean and terrible and awful. And Courtney is now sharing how all of that affected them. And knowing Chrissy Teigen was in the mix, not great.
No, and at the end of the day, it was that man who was
he's gross
at fault. It was him taking advantage of a 16-year-old. Mm-hmm. And so when you look at the situation,
right. It's like, how did we all not see cry for help?
Exactly. The whole thing is super sad. So I can't even imagine how Courtney feels. And Chrissy Teigen must feel like absolute ass.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is what happens, right? They're calling for Chrissy to lose brand deals and Chrissy to be taken off of Target. And I think fans and people freaked out because Target doesn't have her cookware, I think, listed right now on their site. But apparently that happened like a month ago, that there used to be an exclusivity deal. Now there's not. So she can sell her cookware in other places and online and not just with Target. So everyone thought that Target had taken all of her stuff off, but that had actually happened a little while ago. But it's crazy. My friend sent me the like one of just Target's latest Instagram posts, and there was thousands of comments like telling Target that they needed to cut ties with Chrissy Teigen, like so much. It was crazy.
And another thing is, I hope that people, because what Chrissy did was super fucked up, it doesn't mean that people should then go DM Chrissy to kill herself.
Yeah,
I feel like that's another thing we're seeing, is that people are like, Chrissy deserves to die.
Oh, I'm sure that happened.
Well, immediately because of this, people are like, oh, Chrissy deserves to die. Chrissy needs to kill herself. Like that, that's just an eye for an eye. And Chrissy was wrong. So let's let Chrissy be wrong and don't join in on being wrong as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is one of those moments that you hope like she can reflect and think about and maybe find a way to productively
off
help
of social
people.
media again.
Yeah. Just like how to turn it into something better, because there's like, I don't know. It's hard to imagine. I just can't imagine being like, I was a troll back then, just telling people to kill themselves. Like, what? Who does that?
Right. I mean, I was a Kris Jenner troll, but I wasn't telling her to kill herself.
That's
Mine
what I'm
was
saying.
more
like,
of jokes.
Right.
Being
There's
like,
one thing for
you know?
like that's why like Chrissy Teigen trying to be like, like I was a troll, like whatever. I'm like, yeah, there's a difference between being a troll and telling people to go kill themselves.
Exactly. Listen, I think Chrissy Teigen has a sick relationship with social media.
Yeah.
And I think she's got to cut it out of her life.
For sure. We have an awesome interview with Erin and Sara Foster coming up, and let me tell you, it's been a long week. And Wednesday was a long day. We had a lot to do, but I will tell you the best part was reaching in to the fridge in the Airbnb, knowing that there was a nice Coors Seltzer waiting there for me. Coors Light, Coors Seltzer, whatever you prefer. Right now it's getting warmer, so we reach for the seltzers. But sometimes you just want an ice cold Coors Light. Just an ice cold Mountain Blue refreshment. Guys, that those mountains turn blue and it's ready to go. When the beer is cold, and it is time to chill, because we need a moment to chill. We need a big time moment to chill. And when we do that, we are going to reach for our favorite beer, the official beer of Chicks in the Office, Coors Light. So when you need to hit reset, just open a Coors Light. Like I said, it's literally the only beer made to chill. Cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. It's as crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Perfect for a moment to unwind. And like I said, the Coors Seltzer, also incredibly refreshing. I am a big fan of the mango. Rhea will tell you. I had a sip of that mango. I was like, damn, this is good. I really love the mango Coors Seltzers. They're my favorite. So if you ever feel like you're always on the go, you're just juggling a million things at once, and you just want to chill, Coors Light is literally made for those moments. Because everyone likes variety, Coors has also introduced refreshing Coors Seltzer with flavors like black cherry, mango, lemon lime, grapefruit, mango my fave. Get Coors Light and Coors Seltzer delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart. And always remember to celebrate responsibly. This is coming from the Coors Brewing Company in Golden, Colorado and Fort Worth, Texas.
All right, everyone, we are here with two very special guests. We have Erin and Sara Foster. I asked them, I said, what are you guys described as? What can we say you are?
Title.
They're businesswomen. They do everything. They have a new podcast called The World's First Podcast, right?
Because it
Accurate. Because it is the first podcast. Even though we're on a podcast right now, we can just forget this one. Yep. But welcome to the show.
Is this a podcast? So ours is not the first?
Unfortunately, I have some bad news for you today. Your podcast is not the first podcast. But we are so excited to have you guys on. We've been a big fan for a long time, so thanks for coming.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. We named it that because we truly are the last people.
Yeah, we are like the last people.
We're the last people to have a podcast, so it felt like the natural.
All the clever names were taken, so we just had to go pretending that we were the first.
You got to fake it to make it at that point. So I love it. I think it's a great idea. Why did it take you guys this long to start a podcast though? Because I feel like we were gonna launch for a podcast.
Thank you. I mean, it's one of those things where it's almost so simple that we overcomplicated it. Because technically you can just record yourself on a computer and like upload it to, I don't know, like SoundCloud or YouTube and like just have a podcast. But we kept overthinking it, and then we were going to launch in the summer, and the summer was a really complicated time, socially, politically, and cancel culture became like rampant, and it became very scary to have a podcast or like launch a podcast where I wanted to be able to speak openly and freely and uncensored and unfiltered, and I didn't really know what that looked like. Because
she almost got canceled.
I had gotten like half canceled for some stupid wedding joke,
and then she took me down with her. I had nothing to do with it,
which I thought was
and
like,
then I lost work because of this.
If one of us went down,
we both go.
for sure.
And I thought it was so stupid, like what I was getting canceled for, and it was so like ridiculous that I was like, there's really nothing that is safe anymore. So we couldn't figure out how to like talk about anything at that time, because I was like, it doesn't feel worth the like wrath of everybody. So we just like took a break.
We ride the line on being offensive, but at the end of the day, we're always the butt of the joke. We're always saying to each other what we worry that people are thinking. We never put other people down, but still, like, we have a saucy sort of
saucy.
Yeah. But I think I said saucy to my 10-year-old this morning. I was like, you're being saucy.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, maybe saucy's not the word, but you know.
I feel like, though, you guys are very funny, and that's what's important, even if you're being offensive in a way. As long as you're funny, you can make it work. And that, I mean, that's obviously the summer you brought up was like tough for anybody who's has, a podcast and or a platform and like wants to talk about these things, and you just don't know how to go about it. And even just, you said you got half canceled for like a joke that you don't even agree that you should have been canceled for. And I feel like what we've realized is that, no, you're good. At the end of the day, nobody's going to agree with you 100% all the time. There's always going to be a few outliers that don't like something you said. And a lot of the times it's pretty ridiculous.
But here's the other thing, it just took the fun out of a lot of it. I was like, it didn't feel fun to be on social media. It didn't feel fun to engage with people because people are so angry and so mad and just looking for someone to be pissed at. And it honestly just took the joy out of it. I was just like, I don't really enjoy getting to know these 500,000 people if they're going to just turn on me every time I say something that they don't like. At the end of the day,
guys, no one's allowed to have an opinion anymore. No one's allowed to. If your opinion does not line up with what it is supposed to line up with, you are wrong. This or a that or a that, and we have completely lost the fucking plot.
Also, the world does not appeal, like everything that everyone does not appeal to every person. So are we gonna like cancel Father's Day if someone doesn't have a dad in their life because it hurts them to see that? Like, am I gonna cancel people who post their engagement because I'm not married yet, or people who post their pregnancy because I'm not pregnant yet? Like, the world is complicated and hard to look at, and people are all going at different paces.
Well, you aren't supposed to have gender reveals anymore
of their lives. Because
it's everything.
And everything is, can be looked at like, wait, what about me? That doesn't apply to me. And that's okay. It's okay. For, like, what Gen Z doesn't seem to understand is that, like, going to work and being offended or microaggressed, like, that is part of growing up. Part of growing up is like having a boss that's shitty to you. And of course, like, you want to keep people in line. You want to have people, rules in place to protect people from true like abuse or aggression. But in general, part of growing up is starting to like learn and understand to not be so sensitive about everything. And it just feels like we're kind of going in a different direction.
Asshole bosses can kind of shape who you are. Like, it really can.
I feel like we talked about this yesterday with our guest, and it's like, if you've never had anything wrong happen to you, then what is your personality? Like, what makes you? And I also feel like, a lot of the times, of course, if somebody does something super shitty, you're not going to be a fan of that person anymore. You're not going to follow them. You're not going to support them if it's really bad. But at the end of the day, when people make mistakes, I'm not automatically being like, I'm done with this person. I'm not following this person anymore. It's like, we're all,
and we're not talking about though. There are certain people, guys, who they deserve to be canceled. They deserve to be on an island. It's like you always say, Erin. It's not even cancel culture. It's being held accountable for years and years and years of horrible behavior. Like, we're not talking about those people. We're talking about other people that fucked up. They said something stupid 20 years ago. The tweet resurfaced. Really, we're going to take away their entire livelihood. Their parents. They have children. It's just not right.
Exactly. Anyway, that's our thoughts on cancel.
That's our thoughts. But now you guys feel like you can talk about it on the podcast.
By the way, aren't we fun? They thought we were going to be really fun, and we're out here. And we're
I love it. I feel like it's a conversation that people need to have, and we've been talking about it more recently. Just being like, because I started
talk about celebrities, and for so long, every big story was this person's canceled. This person. So all of our episodes, we were like, this person's canceled.
And then I was like, listen, I know that we're talking a lot about people being canceled and doing stuff wrong, but I don't want people to think that Fran and I are perfect
like we're like
and like above these people and haven't made a mistake, because that's just not true. Like, we're not doing the canceling. We're just letting you guys know what's happening.
That's the problem,
just
is that
so ready to
every
come
single
for
person
everybody.
has something that they could get canceled for.
Yeah.
We all have something in our past in a conversation with someone.
for sure.
And that's why like accounts that kind of have like unsolicited conversations be sent into them where, you know, it's overheard conversations at another table or something. That stuff is really like scary and dangerous, because you should be allowed to have a controversial opinion in private. And you should never have to have that exposed to the outside world. Like, you should be able to sit at lunch with your girlfriends and talk freely and openly about anything that you want without somebody listening and like sending it into an account on Instagram and being exposed. The concept of that is just like so inhumane to me. It's just,
so you guys are not fans of Dumas.
I don't listen. I don't follow it. I think that's dangerous. I think of course it's fun. Everyone loves to be a voyeur in like celebrities' lives, or like I used to
You're
be.
apparently not married. They posted like yesterday.
Yeah, but then
they
it-
did.
Yeah,
I can't believe you just called her out for that.
I mean, we're talking about Dumas, and I
for
just
sure.
literally was
No, I get
scrolling
it.
through the stories, and I was like, oh my god,
Well,
it was like this Sarah Foster. I'm like, wait, what?
Well,
Like,
I don't follow it, so all these
Yeah.
people were sending me the story, but I couldn't
Yeah.
see it, because if
Yeah.
you don't follow it, you can't view
Right,
it. So
right.
I was like getting sent all these stories, and I was like, "But what is it? I can't.
What is it? What
I
does it
can't
say?
see
Yeah.
what it is." And
Yeah.
look, I used to be at the freaking newsstand every Wednesday morning to see in Us Weekly, like, what are celebrities doing? Like, who are they sleeping with? Who are they cheating with? Like, it's salacious. It's. I'm not above that, but to Erin's point, you know, it's not all true. So if you put something out there like, oh, this person's having an affair, or this marriage isn't what you think it is, or this
it's
isn't
just
that,
nothing's
it's
verified.
just right.
Yeah.
So it's just
exactly.
dangerous when you know, it used to be that there was sort of like integrity in journalism where
Can't take it
you
as
had
truth.
to like confirm a source before you let something out. And now, like, not even on Instagram, just any kind of gossip anywhere, the internet is just the wild, wild west. There's really no rules.
Yeah.
And so
People
anybody
use tweets as
Yeah, and
verified
tweets.
sources. Like, oh well, I saw a tweet about it.
Exactly.
Who tweeted
you guys
it?
both walked in with no pants on.
Yeah.
And you just tweeted out. People will be like, "Oh my god, the
Exactly.
100%
are out of control."
But by the way,
That's
can I
the
just
thing.
like say one thing? This is a little crazy, but I feel like the Inquirer is true. I swear, I'm not kidding. Like, every time I see something on the Inquirer, I'm like, wait, I think that I believe the
They're
Inquirer.
probably right
Am I
about
100?
aliens for decades. Like they always had aliens on the cover, and like now everyone's walking
true.
around like, yeah, like you see the news about
You guys,
aliens.
I'm here to say I believe the Inquirer.
If you're going to be a source of information, I think that you should just have a standard to make sure that what you are sharing with millions of people is accurate, because we're living in such a wild time right now with a lot of political issues and social issues and like gossip. And like Sarah said, it is fun. Gossip is fun.
For sure.
And if you put yourself out there as a public person, then you are making yourself vulnerable to that. I just wish that there was more credibility to it, so that at least accurate gossip
I know,
could
but
be
that's
out
just
there.
never going to happen.
Yeah, like you
tabloid,
wish you
it's just
knew
never
who
gonna
was
happen.
telling, because we always say, "Who's the source? Tell us who the source is."
Guys,
and you
a
just
lot of
don't
the
know.
times, the source is the person.
Yeah, that's true.
That is something we learned in doing research for Barely Famous, wanting to poke fun of all these crazy people. A lot of the times, the source is the person.
Yeah, that is
They are
true.
the friend. They are the source. You know, my daughter was saying to the other day, she was like, do you think that these people get so upset when they're photographed coming out of Nobu? Like, are they so mad? And I was like, they're thrilled. Like, like think about it. The truth is, most of those people, if they walked out and if there were 10 photographers standing there and just put their cameras down, they'd be like devastated.
Yeah, they'd be like, hello.
They'd be like, hello, wait, I'm just walking out. And my daughter was like, really? But it's so intrusive. I was like, listen, come on.
Yeah.
Rhea joked yesterday that we, because we're so close, we're in Malibu right now. We were like, oh my god, like, she was like, Rhea was like, I can't even go to Nobu Malibu because I don't want the shame of people paparazzi waiting outside and us walking out and then being like, no one, it's no one,
nobody.
Because
no
we're
one.
not. We were saying this. We're like, we're not somebody, but we're not nobody. So we're kind of like
course.
in the middle where when we were not.
You don't know if they're going
Not
to take
a
your
nobody,
picture.
no, but not as somebody.
For sure, nobody's taking paparazzi pictures. I can promise that. But when we went to the People's Choice Award, it was our first and only award show. We get on the red carpet. We're like, this is our big moment.
Like full glam, the long dresses, everything.
We were nominated. We're on the carpet. They all put their cameras down.
They were like,
Oh,
hey,
Erin and I
these
talk about
girls.
that all the time. We'll go onto a red carpet for like, you know, an award show or whatever.
We went to the Vanity Fair Oscar party and we had a bad time slot because we walked in right after Taylor Swift, and so she was also on the red carpet, and they were like please move out of the way. You are in the shadow of Taylor Swift, and we do not want you fucking up her photos. And I literally, Sarah was like, we gotta like walk out and walk back in. Like this is we walked in at a bad time.
I was like, this is horrible. And you always know too, like that when you get like those sympathy clicks. We were literally presenting at the American Music Awards, and we walked just like you guys, and they literally like
they're like, I guess
they're like, they like click without even looking.
They're screaming, "What's your name?" And they're like shouting it back. You're like, "There's."
That's the most degrading part.
Yeah,
of it. When you shout your name back to these people, you're like, F-R-A-N. Like I'm like, Francesca, it's a hard name.
It's a real low.
My last name, people always mispronounce it. I'm like giving them my life story.
They've already moved on.
I've walked out of places before where I like look the part, and then paparazzi will be like ready to go, and then I've literally heard them be like verbatim, "It's nobody." I'm like, I'll die.
That kind of shocks me though, because to go back to your show, Barely Famous, I love the name because I feel like
the show was so good.
You guys, would you describe yourself as famous?
No,
I don't think I would. No.
I would not. No.
Really?
No.
No.
Definitely. Anytime people say that, it makes me uncomfortable. It's so weird. And it's
what
like,
about
what
like
is
social media?
What does fame even mean anymore? Like,
I guess like
You have a following.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many different versions of it now, and I think that for a lot of people, there is like a goal in mind that has a lot to do with being on the Daily Mail, getting paparazzi, being like a proper celebrity, and that's really not something we focus on. Like, we don't work with a publicist. We've never hired anybody to take our photo. We've never staged a single thing, which
by the way,
does
that's
happen
a
a lot.
thing, right?
It happens a lot.
We should talk about that.
But we've never set up our lives to be public people. It's just the things that we enjoy to do, we do publicly, but we're not like, I don't view success as being directly correlated with like everyone in the world knowing who you are. I just want to do things that I'm proud at, do them well. And when people like it, it feels great. Like I'm sure you guys experience too.
Yeah.
And then when you grow an audience and then you do a new thing, like a podcast, and people like that, then you also feel great. And I go like, that's to me how I measure success, is being able to do something well and people like it. And that's really it. Like that, I don't want that life that I see. I mean, you watch like these people who are A-list, crazy, huge celebrities, and honestly, it seems like a really sad way to live. And like, we know a lot of people in that position, and it, for women especially, it makes your life very, very challenging. And I don't want a challenging life. I want a happy life. So like, I don't look at that and want it.
I mean, it's so crazy. We're leaving it. Like, I associate fame with like Julia Roberts and like Michelle Pfeiffer and Leo and
George Clooney.
And people who are like larger than life famous, who genuinely have paparazzi that just follow them all day, and they're fucking pissed about it. That's what I associate fame. Like, that's when I think of fame, that's what I think of. And now we have just this new crop of guys. Half the paparazzi pictures you see on the Daily Mail are photo shoots.
Oh yeah,
they are photo shoots.
Oh, and you can tell.
We're talking actresses, whoever these people are. It's like, it's a business now. Like it's so. I don't want to be that person. Like we've been asked, like, oh, do you guys want to do a thing when you're in this and it'll look like it's whatever? Like, are you insane? We make fun of people that do that.
Exactly.
We're never going to do that.
We just sacrifice a lot by focusing on that. And it's such a fleeting thing. And it would make you so stressed out about getting older, so stressed out about losing a job or not getting picked for something. And part of like the beauty of getting older, and we're obviously significantly older than you guys, part of the beauty of being in your 30s and in your later 30s is releasing the obsession with needing to be loved by everyone, needing to be hot and have the perfect body, and like all these models that I see on Instagram with like their surgery and all this stuff. I go, God, this must be so fucking exhausting and painful to wake up every day panicked that you are not as hot as you were 10 days ago, or like that you have to get your eyes done and you're 23 years old. That to me just is like a recipe for like a really unhappy life, you know, because you can't keep up. It's not possible.
Well, I got my boobs done and I am thrilled. I had saggy pancakes.
But that's different. You had 2 kids and then you got your boobs done.
Yeah, it's not like at a really
age.
young age. Like people ask us all the time, like, oh, have you guys ever gotten work done? Whatever. We haven't. I'm only 23, so I always say, and I'm cautious talking about it because I don't want to offend the people that have done it, because I'm like, that's their choice. It looks good. But at the end of the day, I'm like, if I start this now, think about in 3 years when I need to be injecting my face every month, and like I can't even keep up with who I look like.
I'm 3 years older than her, so I'm like,
oh my God, you're 26. You're so old.
What's so sad is that I have a 10-year-old daughter.
I'm like, you can't. Like,
and
when she brings it up, I'm like, if I'm not doing it, you're not doing it.
It's one thing if when you're in your 20s and 30s you make these decisions, but that teen girls, I'm talking from the age of like 13 to 18, are questioning their bodies, the way they look, this new standard of like, you're supposed to have the most curvy, perfect hourglass figure, the perfect nose, and everyone has huge lips. Like my 10-year-old has normal lips, and she looks at this and she's like, wait, I have no lips. I'm like, you have normal lips. You have nice lips.
Yeah, that must be so hard because now do you like limit the amount of time she spends on her phone or iPad? Does she have a phone?
Listen, it's a constant conversation. She is one of the only kids in her class that does not have a phone. She is in 4th grade.
Yeah.
She does not have a phone. She has an iPad. I can't take full responsibility for it. Her dad is like so on top of it. He is crazy about it. He's European.
I was
going to
say, the European,
he thinks everyone is insane. So like I ride.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
No.
So I ride the line between that, but then also I don't want her to be like the weird kid at school that is the only one that is not allowed to have any of these things. So she does not have a phone. She has an iPad that she's allowed to look at like on the weekends.
Yeah.
And then if I'm like overwhelmed and need a break, I'll give her my phone and she scrolls TikTok, but she does not have her own.
Yeah. His TikTok, like, TikTok's toxic for me to look at sometimes. I can't imagine being in that. Those are such formative years, and like looking at TikTok, I've had a ton of younger cousins, and when I see like that, they're just constantly looking at it.
And here's the thing, if we could all just come together to like not add to the problem, but help make people feel better.
Yeah.
Someone just wrote me, I posted a bikini photo for this.
Oh, that was
for
hot, by the way.
Whatever.
I saw
Thanks,
that right
guys.
before you came.
And someone wrote me and they were like, oh my God, you're such a natural beauty. And I'm literally, when this is done, going to write to her and be like, I am not natural. My boobs are not real. This is completely filtered. This is not what this is not my skin. This is airbrushed. Like, I don't want to perpetuate this thing of like perfection because it's not real. So instead of like not addressing it, I want to be like, please don't write me that, because you have to understand you're never going to look like that, because I don't look like that.
TikTok cracks me up too, because I joke with her, my For You page, I don't know what happened, but everything I look at is beauty and makeup and skincare, and it's like where to buy it. Oh, I'm trying this product. Oh, I'm trying this product. And I'm like, why am I about to try a foundation that a 17-year-old is telling me that I need to get to for perfect skin?
17-year-old already has perfect skin.
Why is a 17-year-old even wearing foundation?
Well, by the way, I bought, when I was 14, 13, I bought Kim Kardashian's foundation because I wanted to look like Kim Kardashian. So, and that was like 150 years ago.
Did you know her?
Yes, she wore Chanel foundation, and I wanted to look like her. So it's not like this is some new thing of people wanting to look like the prettiest girl in school. That's never going to go away. That is normal. We get it. But now it's just with social media and with these filters, and now it's like you can alter videos of yourself.
Yeah.
So it used to be like, well, in her video it's normal, but now it's not.
Yeah.
And they air those commercials on TV. Like, I see commercials for Facetune video on TV.
Yeah, I think
and
I've
I'm
seen
like,
that.
what?
Yeah.
Like, this is, I see people doing it all the time. I can tell, like, people I went to high school with, like, my friends will be like, what is, like, did she get work done or whatever? I'm like, that is a Facetuned video, which is a whole other level of changing what you look like. You can see it's pixelated. The things aren't moving together. Your pupil is like off to the side. Like, it just is insane.
Look, I don't know what the solve is. We're not on some soapbox. We filter. We do all that shit. I've never altered my body. I
talked about that recently. I said
I like to whiten my teeth.
I'll whiten my teeth.
I got
and
a
I'll put a
pimple.
filter.
I'll get rid of it.
But never.
I usually
altering
just
my
smooth
body.
like a line, like a smile line on my face.
Yeah.
I always smooth my neck. I hate my neck.
Yeah.
Anyways,
What a
the point is,
weird
we're not above. We're not
like-
like, we just don't want to sit here being like these judgy, like old bags. Like, you know,
I guess that is kind of what we sound like.
I know we really do. We sound like such little.
Wait,
not
I want to
at
go
all.
back to the paparazzi photos for a second, because we talked about this with J-Lo and Ben Affleck, because the first big, like, oh my God, J-Lo and Ben Affleck might be back together, right? It was like they weren't even photographed together. It was a picture of Ben leaving a car that we all were supposed to think was
hers.
Jennifer Lopez's car. So in those situations, right, in my mind, I'm like, is that on purpose though? Like, is that like, oh, this is a great way to like start this cycle? Let's have Ben photographed leaving the car.
I think that like you have to kind of question all of these things because you have to remember that it's a business.
Yeah.
Like paparazzi is a business, being a celebrity is a business. And if you stop being relevant, then your business goes away.
Yeah.
And so unless the person is like Julia Roberts moving to Venice and like marrying a regular person and like having a normal life and going to soccer games on the weekends, then you have to kind of have a healthy amount of skepticism for anything that you're buying into, because it is a business. I have no idea if that's staged or not, but I think that a lot more things are staged than people realize.
Oh my God.
And who knows? I mean, listen, if I think about it this way, if you're like a teenager, a regular person in high school, and you go through a bad breakup and you want to make that guy jealous, and you like say to your friend, like, hey, will you comment on my page, this thing? Like I literally did that when I was like 23 years old. I asked a guy friend to like tweet to me something like about me looking hot. I literally thought that this guy was going to see it. And then I realized that like, oh, I have to reply for him to see it. Cause remember you could only see people's tweets. Like if he added me, and only people could see it on his page, but not mine. And so I had to like retweet the compliment to try to get some, I mean, the whole thing was a complete mess. It didn't even work. But you know, if you're a celebrity and you have this option, I don't know if she did this or not, but if you have the option of making someone jealous by like being in a car, going to Montana with Ben Affleck, like, yeah, probably a lot of people would do that.
Yeah. 100%.
It's a good way to like get back at someone.
I would definitely not swear in my children that J-Lo has not orchestrated her own press. Like for sure. Like
I especially when like the narrative around like A-Rod was like, he was cheating and he was messaging.
Great way to make your ex jealous.
Yeah, exactly. Being like, okay,
but
well,
more
I'm
than
going to call Ben
that,
Affleck.
more than like, was it orchestrated? Was it not? My takeaway is like how crazy that just in general in life that like 20 years later, like people still hold candles for each other. Like take celebrity them out of it, just in general. Like when you have unfinished business as a couple, or when your heart's been broken and you've never like, that doesn't go away.
Yeah, you can always revert back to that age and that time.
And also Diane von Furstenberg, she says this thing, I mean, she didn't say it to me, but
she
texted me. She texted me on my way here. But she said, always find a man who knew you when you were young, because that is how they will remember you, you know? And there's something about, like, JLo's 51. Like, good for her, you know? But, like,
I mean, in fairness, JLo looks the same today as she did.
I know. Again, she's not a fair...
She's an outlier.
She's not a fair barometer, but they always say, like, if you're fine...
I don't really like that quote.
Oh, you don't?
No. I think you should be allowed to meet someone at any age and that they, like, love you. I met my husband at 35, and I always wanted to have the husband, like, you know how you see husbands, their wives
shit all over Diane's comment.
Their wives get pregnant. They, you know, they get older, and they still feel like they have the hottest wife. Like you just see these husbands that just like die for their wives. And I always said, I want the husband where like after I have kids and after I get old and like frumpy, that he still like thinks I'm hot. Yeah. And I mean, I'm only a year and a half into being married, but like I feel like I have that. Like I look disgusting in sweats, and like he's like, you're so hot right now. And I met him when I was like, you know, pretty old.
Yeah, and that sounds great. And we're super happy for you. And we're super happy for you. That's great. But like the reality is like that's not for a lot of people.
I'm just saying, I don't know what he's seeing, but I like what he's seeing because it's not what I'm seeing. And I like his version better.
Yeah, he sees the best in you for sure.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just he sees all your great qualities and ignores the really horrible ones.
So you guys, obviously, you know, you guys are hilarious together. And you do a lot of business together, right? Is it everything, or do you guys have separate things as well? I feel like a lot of it is together.
90% together.
Yeah, 90% of it is together. But Erin's a writer. I'm not a writer, so she'll like we have a production deal at Disney, but like she's the writer. I'm not co-writing with her. That's her. I just sort of like produce on the side. We do separate investments. We don't do all of our investments together.
But most of it's together.
Most of it is together. Yeah.
How did you guys start Favorite Daughter?
We started Favorite Daughter because we had I had a relationship with a company called Suburban Riot that makes like t-shirts and sweatshirts that I was like, they made that kale sweatshirt that Beyonce wore that looks like the Yale sweatshirt.
Yep.
And I liked their stuff, and they came to us years ago saying like, let's do a collaboration. So we did a one-time thing with them.
They were like, just put your funny captions that you guys do on. And we were like, oh, we can do that.
We just made t-shirts and sweatshirts with them, and one of them was a shirt called Favorite Daughter, and it just ended up like blowing everything out of the water, and it became this sort of competitive thing where like girls would buy 3 and 4 of them for all of their sisters, which means, you know, 3 times the sales. So like we realized that there was this art audience and this like market for for daughters and like sisters. And so then a company called Centric Brands came to us and wanted us to be the faces of Joe's jeans for a year and do a collaboration with them to do like the Erin jeans and the Sara jeans and like a capsule collection. And then like the bigger picture would be a brand called Favorite Daughter based on this t-shirt that had done really well.
They saw potential just in Favorite Daughter lends itself to so many things. And, you know, it transcends Erin and I. Like, we have an audience, but not like the craziest, you know, large audience.
Right.
So, but Favorite Daughter really just lends itself to just so many things, going into kids, going into accessories, going into, you know, all the things. And
it's been really fun. And
it's
our
been great.
third sister, Jordan, is also involved because she's a stylist from New York. So she works in fashion. So she has like good fashion sense and great style. And so the three of us are doing it together. Yeah. It's awesome.
It's awesome because I feel like it's grown so much. Like I see you guys always posting and I'm like, oh my God, they make this now? Like you have all these really, really cool clothes. I mean, I'm wearing your jeans right now.
Yeah. The clothes are getting really good.
Yeah, they are getting really good. And I was like,
I saw
all right,
all the stuff you were putting on your story. I love
was
the
influenced.
ex-boyfriend
oh yeah, you guys
bra
need that.
and top.
Isn't that cute?
Is so
Wait, you
cute.
need that.
Yeah, we'll get it
We
for
would
you.
love that. We will give you the address. You could send it. And then also you posted about Somersault. We were just talking about that, which by the way is a really great burrito place in New York City if people live in New York City.
Is it really?
But yeah. So when I saw you
Okay,
guys,
let's not plug Somersault the burrito shop.
no, I know. We're gonna plug the
opposite of
swimwear as
burritos
well.
is bikinis.
Yeah. We'll plug the swimwear, but I have to mention the burrito shop because when I saw you guys posting about Somersault, I was like, no way, they're involved in this burrito place. I order it all the time. I was so hyped, and I was
Wait,
like,
should we get involved in the burrito place?
because that's
maybe do like a little cross?
you know, wear the
That's
bikini and eat a
hilarious.
burrito.
Look, I'm all about eating burritos. I gotta say,
Sarah loves a burrito.
I love a burrito. Let's eat. Let's not stress about what we eat. Everything in moderation, but enjoy a fucking burrito.
Yeah.
Like my girlfriend's like, oh, I can't eat a burrito. Eat the burrito.
Yeah.
It'll make you happy. Just eat the burrito.
Well, easy for you to say, Sarah. You have a 12-inch waist.
What's it like? Obviously, you guys have been in California your whole lives, right?
Yeah, we
Here,
grew
we
up
grew up
here in
right here.
Malibu, actually.
Yeah, so that is so different than from what we're used to. I'm from New York. She's from New Jersey.
Yeah.
We both live in New York, and we've only been here for a couple days now. We've had a few work trips out here, and every time we're like with people from LA or California, it's not bad. It's just interesting how different it is.
Yeah.
And even mentioning like the food thing, we
So
had something
different.
so funny last night. We went to dinner
Oh my God.
with some friends, and we
They
looked
live
at
in
the
LA.
menu. They live in LA, and Fran was like, all right, why don't we
I said, let's get a pizza.
let's get a pizza, starter, because
Yeah.
it's had pizza under the starters thing. So we're like,
Yeah,
let's start a pizza. We'll get like the zucchini bites, and we'll start off. And then when he came back, the waiter, they were like, yeah, we're all good. And we were like
our friend ordered and she was like, okay, so we're gonna have like the pizza and we'll get the zucchini sticks and the Brussels sprouts.
And that's
I
everything.
like went to like then give my entree order and she was like, okay, thanks. And
Oh
like
my
the
God.
waiter walked and I looked at Rhea and was like, oh no, is that our dinner? Like, I was like, oh no.
we went and got Taco Bell when we came
like I
home.
was like,
waiter
I was
just
like,
assumed
I was like,
that
oh my
was
God.
it.
I was like, I did they not realize I meant like starter pizza?
Right. We were starving at the end
appetizer
of it. I'm
pizza.
like, this is
Listen,
this is how
LA
they eat.
culture very different. You know, New York culture. Not that I want to speak for New York,
Yeah.
New York culture, but when I'm there, it's all about eating, right? And like experiences. It's about drinking good wine and
Yep.
eating good food and going on a beautiful walk and spending time with friends and like a lot of really great things. And then New York probably has shit that makes it difficult to live there too. LA is really focused on health,
Yeah.
and it's really focused on eating. And in a good sense, LA is really ahead of the curve, knowing all the healthy things that you can be doing, like promoting clean foods and clean water and organic foods and like the right nutrients. And like I wouldn't like ever put McDonald's in my mouth. I would never eat fast food.
Oh,
I'm
really?
so hyper.
You would never?
Not a chance in hell. No.
When's the
But
last
that's a
time
new
you've
thing.
ever had?
No, a new thing. When you ever see me eat McDonald's or fast food? No,
I love
don't
McDonald's.
talk
Do you
about
eat
that.
fast food?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
she
Taco
does.
Bell. I love Jack in the Box tacos.
She has way lower standards than I
I
do.
love In-N-Out all day long, but like I don't eat like that every day.
No,
but
yeah.
if I want something, I have it.
Yeah.
and then I don't stress
But
about
LA
it.
culture is focused on health, which then makes you focus on food, which then makes people obsessive with food.
Yeah.
And then you feel guilty, and then there's like shame around eating. So it's like a slippery slope, because I do think it's so important to have a culture around like promoting health, and like you should not, none of you three should be eating fast food, for the record.
But not even like
I'm not
occasionally.
gonna stop.
No, it's just like
I'm
crap.
like full on addicted. It's,
but it's
bad.
not even food.
No,
Yeah,
I
no,
know
it's
that,
bad. It's
and
terrible.
they've showed you the documentaries in school and
Yeah.
all of that, and I just can't quit it. Like
Well, you don't eat it every day.
No. I don't eat it every day, but I kind of blame my parents. Sorry if they're listening to this, but they have to take fault because growing up, at least once a week, they'd pick up McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, maybe even twice a week, and we'd have that for dinner. Now they do not eat fast food. They totally cut it out of their lives. They eat super, super healthy. And when I go home and I like pick up fast food, they judge me so hard, and I'm like,
and you're like,
you guys are the reason. They always had stacks of soda in my garage, stacks, and so I literally was addicted to soda. Like no joke.
And by the way, soda's really addicting.
It is, and now I don't really drink
We're
it as
also
much.
so
but
lucky that we can freaking make ourselves celery juice and eat. Organic food is expensive, guys. The reality is,
it is getting better, though.
Most of the world, like fast food, you can feed your family for $5 freaking
Yeah, but
bucks.
guess what else is expensive? Getting cancer and eating food that's sprayed with chemicals. So like if we just ate clean food, if we just ate clean food grown from the ground, like a vegetable that's grown from the ground without chemicals on it, should not be more expensive than one that has chemicals.
I know, but it's like tell that to the family
fucked up.
in Middle America that is like, you know,
Tell it to
this is for another.
Monsanto.
This is for another. This is for another.
you guys will dive into the fast food topic.
I'm just
on
saying
your
it's a slippery
podcast.
slope in LA because like you're focused on health, which does make people really obsessed with food. And there is a culture around like shame around food. And I think it's a lot better in New York where people are more relaxed around food. And I do think that that's better because New York, by the way, has really high quality, great food too. But like, you know, you're meant to enjoy your life a little. And women in New York and on the East Coast, to me, like you can go to a party in LA and every woman looks the same. They have like peroxide blonde hair and like fake noses and fake lips and like this like dumb bag on their arm and a fake tan, and it's like a whole look. And then you go to New York and the women that
very chic
have just as much money, have just as much access to that stuff, look really natural and really like embrace who they are as a person, and they have strong personalities and they're like, you know, work focused and they eat great meals and they're not obsessed as much about like the 5 pounds here or there. And in a lot of ways, like obviously that's a better way to live.
Well,
so
it
it's
takes
kind of like a
type
balance
to be able to live in New York, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a certain type of person living
Yeah,
in
you
New
gotta be a
York.
survivor.
What? Yeah, I don't think I could do it. I'm not. I'd rather be peroxide and fake.
Yeah, I feel like just because we grew up there, we feel the opposite. I'm like,
Right,
it
of
takes
course.
a certain somebody to live in California.
Los
Do you
Angeles
guys-
would
yeah.
eat me and spit
Well,
me
it
out.
does. You
Like,
have to be secure.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot about LA culture that is focused on the wrong things. And so it's really easy to get sucked in it. And you have to be like really vigilant about having good people around you and not getting pulled into it, or else you will feel like you're obsessed with relevance or your weight or your body or whatever, like your new face. Like that stuff is addicting, you know? You have to be strong-willed.
But a lot of people come to LA with like a dream, right? Like a lot of people, like a lot of my friends who are from here have left. They've moved to New York. They've moved to London. They've moved to Austin. They've moved to other places. LA, not so much anymore, but it used to be for a long time. People would be like, wait, you're born here? I don't understand. Like, who's born in LA?
Yeah.
You know, because this is really a place where people come because they think people think like, oh, like fame is accessible. Like all these things, it's so accessible. Like you just go to LA and it happens there, right?
Yeah.
But not really. Like
But
people work really hard.
Work like that.
Yeah.
What about just people in general? Like, do you guys find it hard to make new friends? Have you had this like solid core friend group since you grew up? What's it like with that?
I mean, a lot.
Sarah's got a stronger like high school group that she's still close with.
Yeah, and we talk about this a lot because there's like this thing around, you know, people will write us and they'll be like, you look like you have so many friends. Like, I'm so jealous. Like, I don't have friends. Like, will I ever have friends? Like, your friends are from growing up. I don't like feed into that because I don't think that's true. I think you can make some of your most like impactful, most meaningful friendships later in life, you know?
Yeah.
I think, yes, you cannot make new old friends, and those old friends you can never replace because they knew you at, you know, in high school and earlier. But some of the women I've met in my late 30s, like later in life, are some women that I love the most.
I don't think it's actually hard to make friends in LA because people are always, there's so many events happening all the time. There's so many dinners and like, I mean, obviously not in the last year and a half, but in general, it's a really like social city. And so the truth is like in general, people in LA are really like nice and kind of like warm and very open. And maybe on the East Coast in New York, people are a little tougher, you know, maybe a little more like hard to open up.
Yeah.
And so in LA, I think people are really like welcoming and
I don't know. We're
friendly.
doing a lot of like generalizing. Like, we really are. Like the LA people, the New York people, like I don't know. There's a lot of assholes in LA. A lot of really brutal people here too.
Yeah, I feel like it really is a mix everywhere you go, but it's more so when we're from a certain place and you guys are from a certain place, it's like, well, what's it like being on the other side? And I do think that LA is welcoming in the fact that like I don't think I've made a new friend in New York City ever being there, you know, besides the people I work with. But when I come to LA, it always seems like there's somebody who wants to meet up and get dinner or do something.
Yeah.
And so I do feel like people are because they want to connect. At the end of the day, I feel like everybody's looking for something.
New York's very on
You're
the
maybe
go.
not going to be the best of friends, but you'll create like
and
a
you know what,
connection.
later in life
Yeah.
too, you have to work friendships. You have to put effort into your friendships. I think everybody is so busy hustling and so busy working and so busy like doing everyone's trying to like do everything now, right? Like if you're not a multi-hyphenate, like no one's just doing one thing anymore. And you have to stop and realize that friendships with girlfriends or whatever it is, it's the same as a marriage, or you have to put work into maintaining
sex with
healthy
them.
relationships. You don't have sex with your friends?
Yeah.
You have to.
I've
It's
never
a
had
good
sex
thing.
with a friend.
Wow. I was just joking.
I was like, wait, what?
I don't think so either.
Oh man.
I've never had platonic sex, but like that could be a fun conversation.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
mean,
wow, is that why I don't have any of my friends?
Yeah,
it's
like, wait, I should be having more
Wait,
friends.
what?
I
Is that a
sex
thing
with
that
them.
people do?
I feel like you guys are both married now, but I feel like, and we have boyfriends, so we can't even
Oh,
speak to it either.
congratulations.
But
Yeah,
no. But I mean, it's like if you were to have sex with your friend who's a guy, he's no longer really your friend, right?
Yeah, it's so funny. We
You know what I mean?
The second episode of our podcast, which comes out tomorrow, not to promote it or anything. But
No,
we
pump
have
it
this
up.
woman, Tracy McMillan, who's a relationship expert, and we
She's a genius.
She's really cool, and we talked to her about like what people ask her the most, and she said most women ask me like what mistake they're making the most, like what women do that's the biggest mistake, and she said that she thinks the biggest mistake that women make is having friends with benefits relationships, because it's not being clear about what you want. And like most women think that they can kind of like bait and switch a situation and pretend like they don't want more or they don't care. But inherently, often, I know it's generalizing, but most of the time, women do become emotionally attached when you have sex with someone. That's sort of like inherently built in the makeup
Not
of
all
our
women,
bodies.
but most women.
I just said
Yeah,
most
yeah,
women. But typically women
I just
get
don't want you
more
to be
attached.
canceled again. So I'm just like,
But
Podcast
that is
just started. You can't get canceled yet.
just saying,
But
like,
also it kind of boosts.
biologically women do get more connected through
course.
sex than men do. And so it is dangerous to let someone have that thing with you without the like promise of the emotional attachment. And I think that is where women get hurt a lot, is we're not being honest about what we really want, because it's really scary to say to someone, yes, I want to have sex with you. I also really like you. Like, and I hope you like me back, because I don't really just want to be friends having sex. I mean, typically that situation ends up like painful,
oh
right?
God, it's so true. Looking back to my 20s, like I wanted to just be so cool, and I associated being cool with being like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I never, like a guy would be like, do you love me? I'd be like, "Psh, love you? That's so lame. I
Never
don't
even
love
heard that
you."
word before.
Yeah, that's so stupid. We're deep down like, I love you.
Yeah.
You
You're
but
texting
that's
everyone you're
not
obsessed with him.
attractive,
Exactly.
But that's not attractive to guys. Later in life, like he said to me, he was like, it just was really hard to be with you because you just didn't care. And that just made, and I was like, wait, what? You wanted me to care? You wanted to.
Like, I cared.
I cared.
What's that? What is that? Like Cameron Diaz. What's the movie where she's like talking about being a cool girl and she does like the whole speech? I'm blanking on this, but I saw it come up on like.
Is it Hitch?
I'm not 100% sure, but it came up on my Instagram the other day. Somebody was talking about it, like how that played a effect on them, because they always thought, oh, okay, I have to be the cool girl. Like if my boyfriend says he's going to be going out to dinner with these girls or whatever it is, I just have to be totally cool with it. But at the end of the day, like,
Or is it the other
not
woman?
everyone's that cool.
I don't know, but it's cool.
Oh, it is the other
Is it
woman.
the other woman?
I think it is the other woman. Yes.
Listen, I think that in
Great
general,
movie.
I really believe that like you have to be the person that you naturally are and try not to steer away from that. So there are women who are inherently cool and like they are aloof and like they don't care. I have girlfriends who literally like don't get attached to certain things. Then be that, and I promise someone will be obsessed with you for that. But if you are naturally like sensitive and vulnerable, then you should lean into being sensitive and vulnerable, because the true thing that people are attracted to is something that feels authentic and genuine, and that is confidence. So if you're like, hey, I'm really into you and I want you to be with me, that's a confident thing to say, even if you're saying something vulnerable. You just have to be who you naturally are. And I think in your 20s, it's so hard to be that, because in your 20s, you want to be anybody but yourself. And so you're just trying to be something else, and it doesn't work. And then in your 30s, you start to accept who you are, hopefully, like if you're doing it right, and you get more comfortable with that idea. And so like, I mean, all the things that I tried to do in relationships before, now that I'm married, do not work in my marriage. My husband wants me to be vulnerable. He wants me to be warm. He wants me to slow down and like be present and like say how I feel. And all the things I trained myself to not do in my 20s because I was scared to get hurt really didn't help me in the relationship that I ended up in, that I was supposed to be in. So like, you sometimes just have to.
When all my guy
slow
friends
down
are
and-
talking about girls, and I'm always so fascinated. And I'm like, well, why are you so into her? He's like, because she's obsessed with me. She loves me so much. Where am I ever going to find that?
Yeah.
And it's okay to love the shit out of someone in your 20s, in your 30s. It's okay to be like, I don't want you to go out with your guy friends because I love you and I'm going to miss you and I want you to be with me. Like, guys like that. Like, being cool is being confident, right? And I just wish, we all wish, right? We could go back to our 20s and just do it. You just don't have to be so fucking cool and aloof.
Right. And at the
You
end of
just
the
don't.
day, if you're changing who you are and then that person likes this fake person, then what's going to happen in a few years or a few months when they realize exactly who you are, you're not going to be so compatible. It's not going to
when
work
you
out.
like stop faking it.
Wait,
When
do you
you
guys have
stop-
a male audience or is this heavily female?
Mostly female.
Oh,
Okay.
good. I was
Female.
like, all the dudes are like, turn this
Oh, no,
off.
Yeah, no,
no,
our
totally
podcast
mostly
is like
female.
98% female. I think we're like 95%
Oh, okay,
female.
good,
But
good,
the
good.
Barstool audience
is very male.
is very male dominated, but no big deal. We were the first female podcast.
Whoa, that
Now
actually
we're-
is very cool.
That actually is very cool.
It is.
Thank you.
It is something that is
You guys are we being really heavy and serious? Were you not?
Oh my God,
wanting
no,
this?
not at all.
Okay.
I'm
heavy and serious.
Because we can gossip too.
Yeah,
No. This is great, and I actually feel bad because we joked. You were like, "Is this really going to be a half hour?" I was like, "Yeah, we normally are about a half hour,
And
This
we've
is
kept you way longer. But I actually want to talk
way
about
longer than a half
something.
hour.
Total side note. I need to talk about 90210 because I watched 90210 after it came out when it was like on Netflix. And
Is it on Netflix?
Not anymore. They took it off.
that's sad.
But when it was on, I was obsessed with it. And I think it was just something about, is this the correct word? Your cadence? Like the way that you delivered.
Yes.
Oh, like me specifically?
Yeah,
or
you
the-
specifically. Like
Oh.
the way you delivered lines on that show, I just always remember being like, I'm obsessed with this person.
Sarah,
Like,
give us a
funny.
line reading.
It's
Yeah.
so funny because when I auditioned for it, I did it with a British accent, which is so weird.
choice.
It's like it was a choice.
She
I was like,
supposed
I'm
to-
gonna,
I was gonna say, was Naomi and her
yeah, by the way,
sisters
you're
British?
but you're Naomi's sister. Naomi is not British.
I know, but like you guys, I made the choice.
You wanted to stand out.
I needed
amazing.
a job so bad. I was not booking any jobs. I was like, I have to get this job. Like I have to get this job. I was like, I have to go in there with like a really solid choice, and I fucking did it with a British accent.
well, you know what? You got the job.
I got the job. I mean, they made me audition so many times for that role because when I auditioned for it, it was huge, right? Like this,
Yeah.
it was like the
Massive
biggest
show,
show. It was
yeah.
a really big show. Anyways, so yeah, I don't. What was I saying?
accent.
The word is thank you. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. She loved your cadence.
I know it's funny. People still.
I feel like that's
people,
a strange word to say, but
Yeah.
there was something about it. I can't describe it. It was just like the way you came across was awesome.
People to this day still write me and they're like, "You bitch, I hate you."
What?
I
So
hate
funny.
you, bitch. Well, yeah, that Jen was like a monster.
Yeah.
She was a monster, but like in the best way.
It's almost like it was you.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
But to this day, people are still like, you suck. You're a monster. You can't die.
She's lying. She didn't go in with a British accent. She went in exactly like herself.
yeah,
She just
exactly.
Wants to act like
Okay,
she
well,
got
fun
the-
fact, guys. Guess what? Playing yourself is actually really hard.
Yeah.
So clearly, I'm
Yes.
a very
and
good
the British
actress.
accent. Look, everybody loves British accent. I crack up because I know you guys post your nephew Otto all the time.
Yes.
and he is like the funniest little kid I've
showed me
ever
this this
seen.
morning.
I was really like, okay, before they get here, you got to watch these videos of Otto. She was like, wait, why am I watching this? But he is.
I mean, that British
accent
British
is everything.
It's
so
the
funny.
accent, and when he just like, there's just certain words that are just amazing.
I
Like
know.
your video where he was like, "What do you?" I asked about what you were holding or something, and just the way he said books, like books.
We always say we're like, you guys. He could potentially lose this accent. Like he lives in New York. Like he's got to
Yeah,
keep the
we
accent.
do you think
we
it's
have
gonna-
to-
He's got to be like shipped to London in the summers. or
We make
something.
him watch Peppa as much as possible and try to like hold on. His dad is English, from Cheshire, England, and so he has an amazing accent. And I just hope he doesn't lose it because he's 3 and like he's been living in LA
He's
through the
going to,
pandemic. And
He's
I
unfortunately
know.
going to
Unfortunately,
lose.
so
going
my boyfriend, his nieces and nephew, they have a British father as well, and when they were little, there were definitely it wasn't like a full accent, but there were key words that they would say that were like so funny, or like, you know, jumper and like, I go get my you know, all the whatever, the little British slang and things that they would say. And now
he's going to go to school.
It's gone.
He starts school in September, and so he's going to be around other kids.
Yeah, and it's
He's
naturally
such a star.
But at least we have it all in
every
video.
kid. He's like, no, you got to talk like I do.
Yes, I hope they all start speaking with his
every
accent.
kid just
He's
have a
gonna
British
come home and
accent.
be like, nobody talks like me.
I know. Well, we used Otto as the intro for our podcast, so
That's
we have
amazing.
his voice saying like, "Hello, I'm Otto. This is
write
Erin
and
and Sarah's
review."
podcast."
That is so cute.
What a little star.
We have a game to wrap up.
Okay, great.
It's which sister. So we're gonna ask a
Okay.
few questions.
Oh, like where you like go like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably say it out
you can
loud
say it
because
out
this
loud
is a
'cause
podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good point. Good point. I'm so used to seeing the TikTok thing, you know, where they
yeah.
People,
like
it's on
tilt their
YouTube
heads.
too. People will watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
this
Okay.
Podcast. Okay. So who is funnier?
Okay, thank you.
Well, you had to say it.
Erin. Sorry,
Oh, Erin.
She's like, I'm gonna hate
but
having
Sarah
to actually
is
say her name out loud.
surprisingly like really holds her own. It's very
Surprisingly,
Thank you.
holds her
So
own.
kind.
I'm just kidding because she leans into more like being hot and like, and I lean more into being funny, but she is actually really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so. Is that a compliment or I
Yeah.
can't tell? Okay, thank you.
I think it's a compliment. Who is cooler?
I mean, Sarah was definitely cooler growing up. Who's cooler now?
You can say yourself.
I don't think you're like not cool, but neither am I. I don't like. I don't
neither
know.
of us are
I
cool.
really.
You
I
have to
feel,
pick one.
All
One
right, fine. I'll
person's
pick
cool.
myself.
Yeah.
Well,
Fair
then I'll
enough.
pick myself.
Okay, great. Split decision. Who is the problem solver? So say something awry.
Honestly, I think I am.
Whoa.
Bold.
Okay, so does it count problem solving if you're also the person who created the problem?
No,
I'm just
because
gonna
the
give
next question would be who gets in more trouble. So
I'll give it to Sarah.
Oh, you get in more trouble.
No, the earlier one.
Oh, okay.
Problem solver.
Problem
Just because
solver.
Sarah
Thank you, that's-
apologizes more than I do.
Yeah.
So we get into fights a lot, but she's always the first to apologize
Okay.
because she's usually
Yeah,
wrong.
You get into
I'm a
fights with
very.
each other?
I'm a
Yes.
good person.
how often do you guys fight with each other?
Every day. Right?
She has so many issues. We don't fight every day. What are you talking about?
I mean, we're fighting right now.
This is
So
not fighting.
and it's also like now you're gonna get to
bicker.
what's your definition of a fight?
Yeah, exactly.
Like Julia,
Yeah.
we're missing.
No, I
that
don't know.
here.
We fight a lot, but we always like figure it out and make up.
yeah. What's the longest you guys have gone without talking to each other in a fight?
Oh, we don't really go stretches of time.
I think that's
days.
super dangerous to go because we're both very stubborn.
Yeah, a couple days probably. Usually
Well, maybe
we
when we were younger, longer, but I would say a couple days.
yeah, when we've gotten into fights and then we like run into each other somewhere.
Right.
And then you
That's
have
so
to
awkward.
say hi
You're
to
like,
each
this is
other.
awkward. This is my sister.
That's
my
sister.
not even a friend. You're like, oh, hi, sis.
Oh, we'll go to the gym, and one of the people will be like, "Oh, your sister's over there." I'm like, "Cool. Well, I don't want to go in that room."
Yeah, they're like definitely run into each other at the gym like 6 times after a fight when we're not speaking.
That's so funny.
I love
It's
it.
very awkward.
Who texts who more?
Huh. Maybe I text you more.
Oh, really?
I think so.
I'm a FaceTimer.
Yeah.
I'm a maybe I FaceTime more. She texts
Yeah.
more.
Big
Okay.
FaceTime girl. Who gossips more?
Sarah.
Probably me.
Yeah.
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 Who is more high maintenance?
I
Oh.
think me.
Oh, I was gonna say me.
oh, great.
But yeah, Erin.
Okay, I'd love to give it to you. I think I'm just more particular. Like I'm more like difficult in like
You know what? The more you say it, yeah, you. Yeah. It's like I don't
I'm
get.
affected by like variables.
Okay.
You know, like
Yeah.
at a restaurant or
And
something.
you like
You won't
take
eat the fast
time-
food.
No.
yeah,
That's-
I'm much more like
Right.
yeah.
Like if one thing goes wrong,
Particular.
the whole night is ruined.
Yes,
kind of thing. Yeah.
exactly.
And you like take time to get ready. You do your makeup, your hair. I don't do that stuff.
That's true.
So
Fair
Erin
enough.
is Erin. Erin wins.
Yeah. Final question is who's the bad cop and who's the good cop?
Oh, like in what scenarios? Just in life?
Just in life. I feel like there's always like who would you say with us?
I'm trying to think of like
Good
maybe
cop.
if there's like family outside of you guys, like
Oh, I'm bad
who's
cop.
like good
Who's
cop.
Sarah's
In
not the bad cop.
Foster
Sarah's the
family.
criminal. I am the good cop, and Sarah is the criminal. There is not a cop when it comes to family. She is straight up just taking people down, shots everywhere.
What are like
Shots
foster
fired.
family dinners like when
Shots
like
fired.
everyone gets together? I feel like it's got to be awesome.
Well, the group of people is always evolving, you know,
Yeah.
because there's always people coming into the family, coming out of the family. So it's always growing. But I mean, listen, we try, I think we have a very, very unconventional family structure. And so we as adults have really tried to lean into creating as much normalcy as possible for all the kids growing
Yeah.
up. And so we really try to push like family Sundays and like, you know, Shabbat dinners at my house with
Yeah.
my husband and like, and like park days and like just we try to create normalcy because there's a lot of
important,
like confusing
for sure.
dynamics for the kids and a lot of people.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's really nice. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and I feel like it must be kind of fun in some way, even though it's changing a lot. It's different, but it's like your guys' is.
It's funny. Sometimes I'm
It
like,
is.
I'm so jealous. Like as I get older, I'm like, I'm jealous of people with like normal families, with like parents that are married, tons of siblings, tons of cousins, together all the time, big families. Like I find myself now more being like, oh, I wish I had that. I'm jealous of that. But the truth is, like, what we have is amazing. You know, we really have a family that loves each other and that supports each other and that would be there for each other no matter what, even though it looks.
And it makes you guys
you can create that for your younger generation.
I know, and that
too,
was
right?
what I intended, and I'm like, oh, I'm fucking that up too. I'm like, oh, should I be giving them more siblings? It's just the two. You know, you're always like questioning, like, am I fucking up my kids? And I probably am.
We are really lucky. We have a great family. We have a lot of great people that we can like rely on, and having a big family is really fun, and getting to work with your sister is fun, and like all the kids being together, like my husband's niece and nephews, like they play with Sarah's kids and they get really excited about the concept of like having cousins,
right?
You know, because it's like, we didn't grow up like living in the same city as cousins, and like that idea is so kind of like old fashioned like family that we just didn't grow up with that kind of family. So that kind of stuff, like we really try to give to the kids. It's really nice.
Yeah,
we're lucky.
Is nice. I always feel like such a loser because my parents have been together for 30 years and it's very just normal ass family. And sometimes I'm like, just if I had like a little bit more of an
drama,
like just a little more drama. I mean,
we have
plenty of drama. She's
like the most Long Island, New York, Italian
family drama.
Heaven.
Cousins are always fighting,
My
and an aunt always hates another aunt or uncle.
No,
or like
and they all live down the block from each other.
Yes.
And my dad dropped me off at the airport the other day. Well, I don't live at home still, but I went home for Mother's Day and then he dropped me off at the airport.
No judgment.
And the 30-minute ride there, the entire time, he just gossiped to me about what's going on in the family. And it's just drama nonstop. But at the end of the day, I'm like, it is nice that they're together. It's great.
Yeah, I think like having a spicy
that.
family, we have a spicy family in a different way than like the Italian, you know, New Jersey family.
Yeah.
But I think that's always fun to have like a lively family, you know, like it's a lot better than kind of two snoozy parents that like don't care about what's going on in your life and you can't communicate with. Like we have cool parents. We have like really fun, great parents that are like interesting and cool and hang out with our friends and like we can bring anywhere and like that's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
It's true. But oh my God, a family of like 50, like doesn't that sound fun?
No.
We'll get to it.
It sounds so hard to plan like a Thanksgiving.
Yeah. My mom has like 40 first cousins.
Guys, the grass is not always greener on the other side.
I
The
feel like that's
grass
what we
is
learned.
greener where you water it.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
I feel like, and on that note, I feel like this whole thing has been a great conversation about so many different aspects of life, and that's a beautiful way to end it.
But let's plug the podcast again before we end.
Okay, the world's first podcast. You can find it anywhere that you can listen to podcasts. Please subscribe. I just want people to know, and you guys know this, how much it like helps someone when they do subscribe. Even if you subscribe and never listen to it, like we'd really appreciate it because we just started, and
that's what I say to my friends all the time. I'm like, they're like, how can I help? I'm like, you don't have to listen to 1 minute of our show, but just subscribe.
Subscribe to it.
It would just
true.
we'd appreciate it, and just know that like we're very involved in everything we do. So anytime anyone buys something from Favorite Daughter, like we watch the sales come in, we get excited. We're like, okay, do you know that person? Do you know that person? Like, no, it's not even a friend of ours. It's just like a random person that likes this clothes.
That's me buying
these
your
clothes.
jeans.
And that made us, it like feels really good. And so I think we just want people to know that anything that we're involved in, we are like hands-on involved in, and all of it is like meaningful and important to us. And like people write us, you know, oh, I want to get these jeans, but I'm 5'2". Which ones are the best for this body type? And we respond to people and we have conversations and they send us photos and then we like help them. Like we are very, you know, involved in everything we do, and all of it is like matters to us. So we want everyone to know
the
that.
podcast, it's exciting. It really is like a combo of our like crazy ass relationship and us answering questions and, you know, just talking about our personal experiences, but then talking to people who know shit that we want to know more about. Right. So
definitely.
it really is just like a different.
It really is the world's first podcast.
It really is.
Yeah. And what days does it come out?
Thursdays.
Thursdays?
Okay,
Yeah.
I panicked for a second. I didn't know.
Someone said you're supposed to do, well, you guys do 3 a week, but someone said to me, they're like, oh no, you need to be doing 2 podcasts a week. I was like, that's
No,
not.
start off with one. Everybody starts off with one.
Oh,
Start
okay.
off with one. And
Yeah.
We started with
we're not
one as
doing 2 a
well.
week.
Okay.
That's
yeah,
not
no.
happening.
Start off with one, but so exciting.
Well, we're really grateful that you guys had us on, and we hope that your audience liked us
Yes.
and would like our podcast.
I'm
Do you think
sure
we
they
got
love
any
you guys.
listeners from this episode, or do people hate us? Are we canceled?
A little bit of
They like
both.
you.
Maybe a little bit of
They definitely,
They definitely like you. For
Because
sure.
our listeners are like us, and we like you guys.
Yeah, exactly. No, and then imagine we were like, well, we like didn't really like you guys. Like, to your face, that would be crazy.
Yeah, at
Well,
least
we
say it
would
behind our
that,
back.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm kidding. We love you guys. Thank you so much for coming. We're super grateful that you
Yeah.
even made the trip to our Airbnb, not our home, but thank you. We really appreciate it. Everybody check out the podcast, subscribe, download. It's very important. And thanks guys again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. We hope you guys have a lovely weekend. We hope you enjoyed our interview with Erin and Sara just as much as we did. Let us know. Tag us on Instagram. Say you're listening. Tag us on Twitter. We love sharing. We love reposting. We love you guys. So have a great weekend, and we will be back on Monday.